Hello, everybody. We're here with the best of branded content, the lightning rounds. We are here with another edition brought to you by the Social News Desk, our wonderful sponsors. Today, we are here with Peter Lamb from Peter Lamb Consulting. I've been working very closely with Peter on the branded content project. He's been working with publishers from all over the country, trying to help them better find ways to build their branded content business and create new revenue. Peter, hi, how are you?
I'm great, Julie. Great to be here. Hope you're doing well all the way out there in Denver.
We are. I hope you're doing all right in Miami down there. So, all right, we're going to jump right in since this is a lightning round. So the first thing I want to ask you about, tell me about TLC. And this isn't Tender Loving Care, right?
No. This is not Tender Loving Care. TLC stands for Think Like the Customer. And, when I look at the organizations that have had successful branded content initiatives, this is really the foundation. Right? They start with thinking like the customer, putting themselves in the customer's shoes, understanding a very deep understanding what the need is, what the pain is, what the message is they want to convey. They're asking the tough, provoking questions. For example, if you think of a company like Amazon, what they're known for is thinking like the customer first and moving backwards. So that's the start of all successful branded content initiatives, making sure we understand the customer's mindset really, really, really well.
All right, so a big concern with most media groups is the merging of church and state. Branded content is truly, merging the lines a little bit. So tell me what you think about that.
When you think of your typical news organization, Julie, you have two pillars of strength. You have a great editorial side of the business. You have a great advertising side of the business, and never the two shall meet. The beauty of branded content is they work together. That is what gives branded content power. That is, in my opinion, what gives us competitive advantage. And as somebody told me this week, the best kept secret of branded content is we have collaboration between storytelling and the advertising side of the business. So when we look at what gives us the power to really get the kind of dollars we're looking for in the market, which I'll talk about next, it's the fact that we have the two best of the best parts of the organization working together.
And this certainly is about revenue and growing revenue. So we need to definitely find some money, right?
The most common question I get, Peter, sounds great. I love that. Where's the money? I'm going to make two really important points. One would be, if you've never heard the saying, making riches from niches. This is the initiative, the branded content that allows you access to types of categories you might not normally get. Banking, insurance, like I said, financial, education. It gives you access to niches that you don't normally have access to. That's number one. Number two, that I learned from one of our esteemed colleagues in the Branded Content Project, rather than just go to the advertising budget, now you have access to the PR budget. As Rachel said down in Dallas, you also have access to the cause marketing budget. And for examples, if you think about those of us that were at Fort Worth, when Amber Aldridge at the Seattle Times talked about Microsoft, okay, they got access to Microsoft for branded content. Another one of the lightning rounds at the Afro, Lenora talked about getting access to your money from your local utility. So the point here is, number one, do not assume that certain companies are not interested in getting involved with you. Think outside the box, because there is a lot of money out there.
And this is my favorite slide. Okay, tell us about the Happy Meal.
The Happy Meal. It's the second most common question at Peter. I've got it in design. I know the process. I know the procedure. Tell me how to present it. And I always slow down and tell my clients, explain to your customer or ask him, what does the Happy Meal entail? And they'll tell you. And so, do you know the thought process behind it? Well, McDonald's made a decision a very, very long time ago. They were going to focus on the niche called kids. And so they designed a Happy Meal: hamburger, French fries, a drink, some apple slices, and a toy for a simple price. If you bought them in a different order, the pricing would be different. And the customer would say to you, yep, I understand. I have kids. So Mr. Customer, let me explain to you. I have talked to my team of experts back at the company, and we have two Happy Meal options for you in terms of your branded content initiative. Happy Meal number one would be, you talk about a certain amount of full pages, a certain amount of impressions. It's a 6-month or a 12-month agreement. Talk about how many articles you're going to have. That's Happy Meal A. Happy Meal B, Mr. Customer, is, and you have different assets that you list of what you've done. And probably one of the assets you put in Happy Meal B is also an event. Okay? Those are my two options. The customer understands, and what they'll always remember, especially if you've done what Julia and you actually put the actual McDonald's front, they'll always talk about the Happy Meal as that is their option for which one to take.
All right, so you got homework for everybody, right?
Yes, my challenge to you, if you're listening to this lightning round, number one, do your homework up front. Do the heavy lifting up front. Ask the tough questions. Make sure that you are absolutely in the mindset of what the customer wants to communicate. Who do they want to educate? What do they want to inform? Who do they want to convince? What exactly is their expectation from your branded content initiative? Number two, really work hard internally. The one advice I gave you was external. Internally, work hard in that culture. Get the editorial folks and the advertising folks to work better, closer together. Number three, when you get to the Happy Meal portion, go big. Remember, we have a competitive advantage. Nobody else can offer what we have, combining church and state and offering the kind of program we do. Number four, have some fun. As somebody on the advertising side of the business, I don't get to work with a lot of editorial folks. Have some fun with this program and enjoy the ride. There's a lot of money out there.
Well, sir, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate all the education that you've just passed on just through this session and all the things that you've been doing with us with the Branded Content Project. So thanks so much for being here.
Very welcome, Jewel. Hopefully I didn't talk too fast. Look forward to seeing you sometime soon.
Absolutely. And thanks again to LMA, LMC, Facebook Journalism Project, and our sponsor, Social News Desk.